Welcome back. Thank you so much for being part of our day. Hope you got your coffee, tea, got out of traffic at least, and you're able to watch and relax. My guest today is Jonathan Loudermilk. He's the CEO and founder of 180 Sports Performance. Jonathan, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us, Scott.
Jonathan's a regular on here, and I always like to have a regular who knows what they're talking about. And if you get somebody in sports performance who knows what they're talking about, and there's very few, there's a whole lot of people out there. It's kind of like everything. All those financial guys, there's like 5 out of the 50,000 that know what they're talking about. Same thing in training. The reason I have Jonathan on is because I know without a shadow of a doubt he was trained by the best. He is the best, and he's located in Atlanta, so it's convenient. Jonathan, let me ask you a question as we get started off. There's been a lot of controversy right now about the military and the national anthem, etc. But you work with veterans. What's that like?
It's very rewarding, Scott. 2 of our co-owners at one of our franchises are both veterans. My grandfather's a veteran. My best friend's a veteran of the Marine Corps. So for us, we always welcome and extend a hand to veterans. We in our facility here in Atlanta, we actually offer a military discount for any of our veterans, or even lately we've been training a lot of athletes that are turning into soldiers, getting ready for PT testing and boot camp. So we love working with them. There's a lot of drive and motivation. We do a once a year celebration at our facility for our college-bound athletes or college athletes and our military service personnel. And I explain it very simply. You guys go to school for free, but these guys and girls over here make sure that we keep our freedom and we stay free. And so for us, there's a bit of a cost exchange in terms of education for free versus freedom, and to the extent at which, individuals go to gain it.
Let me ask you this. When you get these people ready for what's coming in basic training, how difficult do you make it on them? Do you mirror what they're getting ready to face?
One of the positives we have at our facility is it's extremely warm in our facility. So it lends itself to field application, or even, prep. I tell people all the time, if you're going to be outdoors for a living, why would you, stay in AC all the time? Or why would you prepare in air conditioning? Yesterday was a classic example. We did a 9/11 workout, and I talked to my athletes about 9/11. I talked to them about a lot of historical events as they come relevant in the passing weeks. And I learned yesterday that the oldest athlete in my building was 4 years old when 9/11 happened. And so for me, that's hard, because I was a junior in high school when 9/11 happened. It's a very surreal moment in my life. It's one of those big historical events. You always remember where you were and what you were doing. And so yesterday, we wanted to mirror for the kids who don't truly understand the relevance because they just hear about it. They weren't there. They didn't see it. It wasn't a part of their life print, so to speak. We create a workout that is very leg intensive, and we explain to them first responders that day at the trade centers and different places throughout the U.S. were running around rampant, climbing thousands of stairs and coming back down, carrying 40 and 60 pound packs, very similar to our military personnel. And so yesterday's workout was 9 different leg exercises. They had to do 11 reps. And based on the fact that the youngest person was 4 years old, we did 4 rounds of this. And so to watch these athletes anywhere from 12 to 18 years old, literally, going through this process, and you can see the look on their face like, wow, this is way different than our normal workout. And I told them, I said, you may never understand 9/11 because of your birth date, but I don't want you to not understand what an individual might have felt like on that day, magnified obviously by 100 for the panic and the fear and the adrenaline. But we give our athletes a dose of kind of what that life's like. For our military athletes, we have a girl in training right now for ROTC, for PT and boot camp stuff. She looked at me and I said, sweetheart, this is what you're signing up for. So it mirrors and masks itself. We attempt to create an environment that would create motor patterns and movement patterns that are tangible no matter what their career path is or their sports path.
Did you have anybody throughout this whole process go, why in the world would anybody sign up for this?
No, they did have a whole new respect when they left, though. Yesterday was not quite the talkative Monday that we typically. And the first group, there were 12 athletes, and we paired them up and said, "What if your buddy falls down? You're going to have to carry him out of this." And so, ironically, one kid had rolled his ankle in one of the drills, and another kid came out with a nosebleed, just randomly started having a nosebleed.
Right.
And their partners looked at me like, "What are we going to do?" And I said, "You either carry them through this or you finish the workout for them. You're going to be accountable to each other, though." And to watch those two groups, that one had an ankle injury and one had a nosebleed, the other half of the pair pick up the slack was awesome. We had kids finish in under 30 minutes, and we had kids that took an hour and 30 minutes. So it was definitely a different day that I hope, not from a physical perspective, from a mental perspective, they don't forget what that felt like.
No. Well, now let me ask you this. You do work for veterans. Have you had the opportunity to work with some veterans that ended up with some form of disability when they got home?
Not currently. A lot of our athletes that we have trained over the last 6 years, some are in active duty, some are just now deploying. Currently, we haven't had that opportunity. It would be a very welcomed opportunity. We're currently training a college athlete who has a prosthetic leg, and so we're working through that with him. It's amazing. He works, equally as hard as anybody, if not harder. We modify certain drills because obviously we want to take care of his body and make sure he's safe. In my past career as a coach, I had a kicker who was born without an arm. He was born in Chernobyl and was adopted and moved over to the United States. And Alex could do anything everybody with two arms could do, for that fact, and played 4 varsity sports, was our kicker. I'd have to remind him that he's not supposed to run down and make tackles because he was the fastest kid on our team. And he wanted to go get in on the action, and I love it. To me, everyone has a disability or a handicap that they have to overcome. I struggle with reading comprehension and other things, just as other people may struggle with, whatever it is that's not their gift. But I think, at the end of the day, we all have to know that we each put our pants on one leg at a time, and we each put our socks on the same way, and so on and so forth. And so, indifferently, we don't care who they are when they come in our facility. They're going to be treated first class. We tell every one of our coaches, treat every athlete in this building like an All-American, because honestly, we don't know what they're going to grow up to be. And I don't want to be the one, and I don't want my coaches to be the one to slow down their dreams or goals.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left in this segment. I want to talk about a kid you were in high school with at the time. Different high school, Kyle
Yes,
Maynard.
sir.
Beat anything I ever seen. I'd gone to a wrestling match, and I wanted to see this kid wrestle. Now you look at where he is now, and now he's got his own, ESPN Nike commercial about climbing Mount Everest. Do you remember him from high school?
I do. I grew up. Kyle was, I believe, a year younger than me, either the same age or 1 year younger. Kyle wrestled. He played football. Tenacious competitor, heart of a champion, played nose guard on a football field and would shoot the gap, and a lot of times just throw his body into running backs, quarterbacks' legs and take out their legs, and you'd see a front flip out of the backfield. Kyle made the tackle. It was awesome to see his teammates. Sometimes if there was a long play, his teammates would pick him up and run him down the field and set him back in place. But I've met Kyle in passing. I know a lot of friends that work out at his CrossFit gym or his former gym. Inspirational, unbelievable man. Several of my friends played with him growing up at Collins Hill. He's he's climbed Everest. He's participated and competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's on a CrossFit gym, and Kyle's a quadriplegic that was born that way. And I think he's even won an ESPY, for enduring. Grit and determination, and just world-class guy. I've never heard anybody say anything other than that guy is a man's man and a one-of-a-kind person.
It's amazing. Jonathan's class that year, and when I say class, those 4 years when Jonathan was in high school at North Gwinnett was the best class of athletes, and I've coached a long time, the best class of athletes I've ever seen in any state. And I'm from North Carolina, and that really hurts me to say that. But that Gwinnett County group, that region, is the toughest region I think I've ever seen in the United States. And I looked up that year in football, 5 of the top 10 in the country were in our region that year because I was the coach in that region when he was in high school. All right, Jonathan's going to stay with us. Coming up, we're going to talk about lacrosse. We're going to talk about college lacrosse, what it's going to take to make you the best at that sport wherever you're located in the world. Jonathan Loudermilk, 1A Sports Performance, is going to be our guest. He's going to hold on. So if you've got a question, 706-889-9700. We'll be right back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for being part of my day. Now, we got Coach Milk still online. Coach Milk, I got a question for you coming in. You train college lacrosse players, and we being in the South here, it's only been here like 10, 12 years for us. But what's it like to get these kids ready for college?
We're very fortunate. We get them ready for college. We train over 30 athletes in our Houston facility. but we also train another 30 to 35 current college athletes. And so, it's a process. Lacrosse is the fastest growing sport in America. It's newer in the South than it is in other regions of the U.S. And, at this pace, it's taking over. There's LB3 Atlanta, LB3 Gwinnett. There's some large club programs down here in Metro Atlanta. I think in the area we're in, there's just in the school district that we're located, there's over 1,200 kids youth-wise that participate, if not more. So
Wow.
it's unbelievable to see the growth. I graduated high school in 2003. I never even heard of lacrosse. And then I come back about 4 years ago to Metro Atlanta, and it's everywhere. And so, I mean, you're talking in the matter of less than 10 years, it went from non-existent to exploded. And we love it. They're great kids. They're very smart. They have great skill sets. It's amazing what they can do with a stick in their hand. But what we love to do is take those skills and magnify them. Take, for example, the one college program we work with. They've got 30 top-tier athletes in their program. And we were fortunate enough to have the opportunity to come in and work with them 2 days a week. And what we're doing with them is amazing to see the growth and to see the kids say, man, I've played sports for a long time, but I've never trained like this. And just to create workouts and drills and things that mirror what they do on the field so that there's a level of continuum. Muscle memory is huge in anything you do in life, but in sports, if we can do 100 more reps a day through training at the same muscle memory pattern, when we go out to do it in the performance or the practice, it's that much more efficient. So we're excited. We're going to be at a huge event this weekend in North Georgia. There's going to be another maybe 75 to 100 lacrosse prospects. We're excited to get out and kind of mix and mingle with those kids and meet some of these kids because the big thing about 180 Sports Performance, we don't want logistics or economics to dictate whether or not you have the opportunity to be trained by us or with us. And futuristically, there's bigger plans of ways to cross boundaries from continent to continent and state to state. But for now, we're sticking in the Southeast, Georgia, North Carolina predominantly, and having a blast. And with these lacrosse kids, they're great. We have some of the top tier girls players that come in our facility every single day. It is a blast to work with those young ladies. They are super talented, super skillful. And I think in female athletics, they love the fact that they're getting the opportunity to train, so to speak, like the guys. They're getting that opportunity that has always been a male-driven opportunity for whatever reason. We could care less. We love the fact that female athletes come in because they listen a little bit better and they're trying to do it right, and we don't get that oh, I got this macho guy. So it's good because I think those young ladies deserve the same opportunity, even more so than the guys sometimes, because I love to see the prevention of injuries. I hate to see a little girl walking around with an ACL tear or a knee brace on. And if we can help play a role in strengthening those young ladies and helping them be, less injury prone, because in lacrosse, soccer, and basketball, that's the top three sports in America for female ACL injuries. And I'd like to be a part of helping, correct that statistic by strengthening athletes and hopefully helping them out. Of course, the medical world, they do their part and we do ours.
Let me ask you this question while we're on the injury thing. NFL and Major League Baseball, we're seeing repetitious injuries from athletes. What's causing the same injuries to so many players?
I'd say overuse because
that's what
at the end of the day, we're seeing kids, and I say kids, 12 to 14-year-olds having Tommy John surgery. When I grew up, Tommy and John were the stud pitchers for the Atlanta Braves, Tom Glavine and John Smoltz. And this is in the early 90s, These guys had those injuries because there were 35, 40-year-old men who'd pitched thousands of pitches over a lifetime, or hundreds of thousands probably. And now we're seeing it in youth athletes. And I think part of the problem is, and same in the NFL, I often wonder, if the NFL is so big on injury prevention, why do they not mandate the equipment that athletes wear? Because in the NFL, they're creatures of habit. They wear what they like to wear, even if that helmet's not the latest, greatest technology or whatever the case may be. And same in injuries, you know, in baseball, softball, any shoulder injury, elbow injury, knee injury. A lot of it is, you know, I don't think there's such a thing as overtraining. I think there's under recovering. These athletes, especially these youth kids, they go and they play 6 and 8 games a weekend. It's like, how can the body physically handle that and then do it all over again 5-7 days later? Or 3 days a week they train, 3 days a week they run, 3 days a week they lift, 3 days a week they hit, 3 days a week they pitch. Well, there's only so many days in a week. So I think at the professional level, it's a ripple effect from when they were kids. They weren't taken care of as well, you know, as they could when they were kids. Now they're getting to the top level where money's on the line and success is at all cost. And so now you're seeing these crazy injuries, these guys hurt, these guys out, weird random things happening that never happened in the course of 20 years of sports history. But athletes are bigger. I mean, it's rare that I would walk in a room and feel small, but the college basketball guys would walk in our weight room and they're all 6'5" to 6'9" or taller. I'm 6'4" and I'm short, you know, and so athletes are getting bigger. You know, I watched IMG Academy play 2 weeks ago against Grayson High School. They had a sophomore offensive guard that was 6'8", 340. And I'm going, what are they feeding these kids? And then secondly, they posted a statistic that a high school offensive line at IMG Academy was larger than the Atlanta Falcons offensive line. And that to me is just mind-boggling. Like, wow, how does that happen? So kids are bigger, they're physical, they train at places like mine. You know, they're spending year-round. It's a year-round sport now. It's no longer every 3 months you pick it up and put it down and we'll see you next season.
Oh, yeah. It's funny, you talk about Tommy John. I remember watching Tommy John pitch as a kid. So, no, I feel a little older today. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Yeah, man, that brings back memories. All right, let me ask you this question. We got about 2.5 minutes left. Do you have any big things coming up? How can people get in touch with you, and how can people start training?
We do. We just partnered with a sports software company called Zybeck, and we're going to start offering. We've been doing it in-house, but I think it's time for us to branch out. We're going to do laser timing and full athlete analysis reports in every major sport. And we're going to start in the metro Atlanta area, work our way to North Carolina towards Asheville and out to Chattanooga, cover those areas exclusively probably for the next year, unless there's a better opportunity or another opportunity somewhere else.
Right.
So we have a lot of timing and testing combine on the timeline. We're doing some cool stuff at our facility now. We're going to start hosting monthly dodgeball tournaments just to get the kids to have fun. You know, it's not always about the sports that we call traditional sports. You know, we've got these college things going on that are wonderful. We've got a large volleyball program we're working with. We're excited to see these 80 to 100 girls and their improvements from now to March. But, you know, the best way to reach us, we're on every form of social media, you know, within reason. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at 180sportsp or 180sportsp. And then on Facebook, the number 180 Sports Performance. And I'd love for people to go on, view you know, our videos, view our pictures. We're constantly posting where we are and what we're doing, the diversity in athletes we have the opportunity to work with. And you can see, I mean, we're training anyone from 6 years old all the way to 26-year-old athletically. And then we have a group of moms and dads that come into our boot camp classes 4 days a week with 2 of our top boot camp instructors.
Which is great, because it's always great to take pity on the older people. All right, Jonathan's facility is located right outside of Atlanta. Let me get you where it's going. Houston, Georgia. Think of Chateau Elan. Get in your car from Atlanta, drive north on I-85 about 40 minutes, and you are there. It's a beautiful location. It's not crowded. It's great open space. If you want to get in shape, if you're my age, let's say over 50, and you've been wanting to get back in the gym and you want to do it in a relaxed environment where you know people are going to know what they're doing and they're going to take care of you, that's 180 Sports Performance. Jonathan, I'm going to ask you as you leave, what's the one thing you tell a kid in one sentence if they were trying to pick a sport to play?
Sell out to your passion. If you're going to do one thing, be the greatest at it. You know, and I tell my son that. We were talking last night about his homework, and I said, son, I just want you to work hard. I want you to be great at whatever you do. I don't care if it's algebra or long division, you know. So we encourage the kids to sell out to the process, no matter what sport they play, and once you're in, be all in, you know. And I think that's the thing that kids need to understand is they've got to pick one sometimes because there's so much competition out there.
Right.
And I believe in the multi-sport athlete, but at the same time, if you're going to pick one, let's be the best at that one thing.
Thanks so much. That's Jonathan Loudermilk, CEO, founder, and head guy at 180 Sports Performance. When I get back, I'll get you a question. So if you got a question for me, hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. I'll be right back.